Well, people want to hear about this TV deal, but I just think that they've missed most of the conversation because we've covered the TV deal.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's different than other TV deals that we've heard about in the past, where conferences are shifting and on the professional level, we see negotiations go on, because this almost lines up with, again, what we've seen between the SEC and the Big Ten, kind of going their separate directions. And yeah, punch, counter punch. And even though it's not like ESPN said, hey, we're done with the Big Ten, we don't want the Big Ten. And it wasn't like the Big Ten said, we're done with ESPN. They negotiated. It just came down to, as I read it,
who wanted
ESPN wasn't willing to shell out that kind of money, which was 7 years, $380 million, to not get upper echelon games. And with the games, most of them obviously going to Fox, but also CBS and NBC, ESPN wasn't going to shell out that kind of money to show Minnesota and Maryland every week
on ESPN too. And,
yeah.
You're not even, and maybe you're looking at the 11 a.m. Central ESPN2 game at best. Seriously. So, yeah. And then another ESPN2 game, obviously. But, yeah, that wasn't worth it to ESPN. And I don't blame them. I can't blame them. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, as you well know, these networks go into these negotiations and they've got a ballpark figure of, this is what this is worth to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're going to sweeten the pot by saying, okay, you're going to get more Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Nebraska in your allotment, well, then we can stretch our budget, or vice versa. Oh, well, you're not going to see that many of those kind of games. Well, then our initial $380 million becomes less because you're not giving us that kind of inventory.
I think the forgotten thing in this whole thing too is the Big Ten network, because now I think they're the ones stuck running these, Rutgers, Illinois games now.
Well, they're showing those games anyway.
Oh yeah, of course they are, but
you're right. They're going to be, once you serve out games to Fox and FS1 and all the Fox stations, and then you get to CBS and NBC. Yeah, what's left for the Big Ten network? The only hope for the Big Ten network would be continued expansion of the conference.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're adding UCLA and USC in there. You think they're going to put Maryland on instead of USC? No, not happening.